Subscribe, everybody. Hello, and surprise for a surprise show with Amanda. You guys know the deal. Follow me over on Twitter. I'm at Reality Recaps, and who's here with me? I already ruined it. Go ahead.
You can follow me at Amanda Zuckerman on Twitter, or Amanda_Zuckerman on Instagram if you want to see pictures of me in my life, which I don't know why, but 35,000 people do.
I saw the picture the other day of your boyfriend, and I think he's trying to do a little Saw movie on your ass.
He works in medical device sales. Hold on, damn it! I just got this new computer, and you could like text my computer, and it's so annoying. Stop it! I don't want any.
Is it a Mac?
Yeah, it's a new MacBook Pro. No, he's in medical device sales. He does like total joints, so he has I don't. It does look a little dextery, but if I ever break a hip, I know that he's got my back on my hip.
Or your kidney if you wake up in a pool of ice. So, Amanda, what do you want to talk about? I know you were like, let's do an impromptu show. What is it you are wanting to talk about on this fine Big Brother day?
I mean, first of all, my fans helped me win a really cool camera. And so I promised them to do like an hour-long interview, whatever else, because as you know, I haven't really been doing them lately.
Now, is that the contest with the picture where you were like telling people? Okay.
Yeah, it was for my real estate. So they helped me win. So I'm like, I want to answer some fan questions. Natty, you don't even have to be a fan. Any like Big Brother questions you got going on there, I can try to answer the best of my ability. And what sort of inspired me to do this impromptu hangout right now as well was what's really popular right now, the discussion of production getting involved in the game. And I wanted to discuss that. I know everybody has different feelings about it, and I'm pretty passionate about my views on it. So I thought that would be interesting and fun to talk about.
Well, let's talk about it then. So production getting involved in the game. I will say that I feel like sometimes I really think they do, and I know I try and like get that out of you, but then other times I think no, they don't. Because, for example, how could they say like, oh my God, they tried to save Zach the other week or save Frankie the other week, but then not this week? And it does. I don't think production gets involved, is what I'm saying. I think we're just projecting our, stories onto it.
I mean, that's how. This is my thought about it. I think that, for instance, is like I just had a discussion with my dad. I almost like yelled at him because I'm like, why are you tweeting that production's getting involved in saving Frankie? It's not production that's saving Frankie. It's the house guests that are in the house that are being so worried about what Frankie. Listen, if the house guests wanted to vote out Frankie, they could. Production isn't stopping that. So I think that to say production's getting involved, and they're not. It's the house guests are free to do anything they want to do, but if they're afraid to vote out Frankie or they're kissing Frankie's ass because he's Ariana Grande's sister, that's their choice. And that was the same with like Alyssa on our season. If we wanted to vote out Alyssa the first week, we could have done that, but we decided not to because we were able to use her to benefit our games. Now, when I think...
Now, wait, pause your now. I wanted to stop you at a good point. We forgot the most important part, Amanda. Everybody that has questions for Amanda, tweet us with hashtag YRRLive or comment below this YouTube video or leave it in the chat room on our website. And Amanda and I will talk for a few more minutes, then we'll start taking your questions. Sorry, go ahead, Amanda. So...
Now, the one thing that I think that when production does get involved, which I feel like they haven't in a while, is when they're like, America, vote for who gets a special power. Now, in that scenario, if Frankie got like a freaking coup d'etat or some sort of something that America voted, then yes, at that point I'd be like, that's really unfair. But like what's America voting for right now, like, I don't think really affects the game that much, and it's not only to help Frankie, it's literally America is voting for entertainment value. They're not really altering the game whatsoever, except for this last one, but who knows, we'll see how that goes. And they have the choice to take it or not. But I just think people get annoyed. They're like, oh, like they don't like Frankie this week. It's going to change because it changes from week to week. We don't like Caleb one week and Caleb is a hero the next week. You don't like Derek. We love Derek. And this is the other thing that I'm getting at too. I got really heated talking to my dad about this. If you want to go on Big Brother, it's a lose-lose situation for the player. And I'm going to take Derek as an example. Derek is a great freaking player. He's one of the best players to play the game in a long time. But people now hate him because he lies. And people hate Frankie because he lies. And guess what, America? That's the game. You have to lie. That's what it is. Some people do it more appealing to others, but you gotta lie in the game. You can't be loyal to everybody. And people hate Derek for running the house, but people want a strong player. So there's no way to win everybody. Oh, it's so boring. Derek has it all. Well, you want a good player, and yet you're gonna hate a good player. So what do you want? What do you want from me?
I wish I disagreed with you because that'd be more interesting, but I do agree with you. It enrages me that people talk about fairness. I don't want to disappoint my family. My family would be disappointed if I gave up a 1 in 12 chance of $500,000. Like,
No, and it's so frustrating too. Like I literally have to like unfollow people all the time because like everybody and fans who watch the show, like when I see someone tweet something like Derek soon will show his true colors. He's evil. He has an evil soul. Fuck you. You know, he's playing a fucking game. Derek has an evil soul because he's in a house lying to people to win $500,000. Like people like that shouldn't watch the live feeds or shouldn't watch the show because you're really fucked in the head if you think that Derek is an evil soul because he's lying to people to win $500,000. Like, that's the game. So I'm so frustrated because it's the first time that I've been able to, like, and to be honest with you, I'll tweet about the show. I try strongly to not tweet negatively about the house guests, even though a lot of them have their opinions. I did call Nicole an idiot today, but the reason why I called her an idiot was not because anything. It was because she's like, I don't want to make a certain move, because I don't want America to hate me, and I don't want to not be invited to charity events like Amanda. She could have said Gina Marie, she could have said Aaron. It didn't really matter to me. The point is that when you're in that house, you shouldn't care what America is going to think. That shouldn't affect your game. And that's the problem with this season. If Ariana Grande was related to Frankie and I was on their season, you know what my thought process would be? Okay, so there's no MVP, so you're not helping me. You're automatically gonna win America's favorite. Bye, Frankie. And I love Frankie, but I'd get rid of him. I wouldn't keep him around. I wouldn't be like, oh, Ariana fans are gonna hate us if we evict him. Well, that's not why you're playing the show, to gain fans. You're playing the show to win the game.
I agree. I tweeted the same thing out yesterday. I don't understand why. I lost all respect for Nicole this week when she literally uttered the words, I would have never put Frankie up if I knew he was Ariana Grande's brother. She said that. She's crying. Victoria's in the corner crying. Christine's frustrated. I think my exact tweet was, you do all realize you vote, and not America, and not the Ariana Grande fans. And even if we get one vote as America's whatever vote, let's say they do that, it's still not going to be enough to influence it.
I feel like this cast is so hyper aware of America.
Whose fault is that, Nanza?
Because of our cast. But I mean, obviously it's a good thing, it's a bad thing. You know, we had a lot of loose lips on our season, and it brought a lot of negative attention. But it was definitely a learning experience for this season. Now the problem is I don't think they should have altered being loved by America. I think that what they should have taken was, maybe I need to be careful about the negative things I say about other people that's not game related. But instead, like, they're so focused on being loved by America that it's really starting to take away from the game.
Yeah. I don't like this season. I've been saying it for the past month on Twitter. It's boring.
It's
It's
and I'm sorry to say it. Like some people, like Evil Dick was saying, like, oh, this is like season 15 sucks, and season 16 is so good. It's like I don't see it. Like when but I guess everybody has like a different analysis of like what makes a season good and what doesn't. For me, I want to be entertained. I am thanking the Lord Jesus that Zach didn't go last week, because for me he is the only the source of entertainment in this entire house. Really, he really no one else does anything like even remotely entertaining. They don't really fight, which I'm sorry. That's why all of these reality shows are popular, because people fight and people like seeing people fight. So, I mean, boring.
It is. It's a completely boring season. I don't know where you're getting. I don't even know. I don't follow Dick because whatever. But I don't see on my Twitter that people like this season. All I see is everyone agreeing it's the most boring season ever. I'm not seeing a ton of people loving it. Like, we all love interacting with people and talking about Big Brother. Like, that's fun during the season. But this season in general, no, it sucks.
This season is if America wanted it, they have it. This is the season of America's sweethearts.
Mm-hmm.
If you really didn't, and Zach, let's be honest with you, Zach's not really a villain. Zach is he's fun to watch. He does things and tries to spice things up, but he has he's not really, I feel like he's not really angry to the core yet, you know? Like, I feel like he's not that attached yet. So, it's, you know, it's definitely, there's not a lot of disagreement. It's very kumbaya, and that's okay, but it's just a different game, and every season it's a different game.
I'll say this. I don't know how much of the feeds you've watched since, I think, Saturday, but a lot has changed since Saturday. There is definitely, for what it's worth, a good 50% more drama since Saturday, and even right now.
I've heard, and I just was having a discussion with my dad. He's like, and when have they ever let people leave the house? I was like, they've let people leave the house before. This isn't just special for Frankie Grande. They let people, I forgot who it was, leave the house to do another like CBS game show to win like 100,000. Oh, it was Danielle.
And the VMAs, they got to go to the VMAs one year. They got to, Mm-hmm.
They haven't done it in a while. No. This season is like in my season, we really didn't, to be honest with you, we didn't really get very many perks. No Pandora's boxes, none of that stuff, because we didn't need it, because we had so much drama. They had so much to fill in this small amount of time that they didn't want to add more. Like with seasons like this, where although from last Thursday to tonight's episode there was a lot to, or last night's episode there was a lot to fill, but typically they're adding stuff in so that we don't have, you know, dead air, that we don't have boring feeds. So it is definitely getting more interesting. But another thing is, what I noticed is that the alliances, like there's no there's no alliances, like no real alliances, because everyone throws, as soon as there's one evicted, everyone's scared and puts their tails between their legs and they throw each other under the bus. No one knew about Goof Troop, my alliance with Judd and Andy and McCrae, until we decided to get rid of America's favorite, Judd, because we didn't care that Judd loved, or whatever, America loved Judd, and no one knew about it until we brought Aaron in, and we told Aaron about it, and even that, 3 a.m., no one knew about 3 a.m. until Andy decided to leave and form the Exterminators. So it's like every week there's a new alliance formed, and and that alliance is broken the next week. It's like, it's very odd.
It's more so, like, I wouldn't say there's no alliances. I would say that's it exactly. There are so many alliances, nobody turns down an alliance, and why this season is different from even, let's just say, your season, nobody cares when it's revealed. Like, when the truth comes out, they're mad for like a half a second, and then they're all in the living room together, like eating dinner, and they're fine.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, because there's no, I think the cool thing about the show is that from the beginning, if you have certain bonds with people and you're able to keep that loyalty throughout the entire time, then that you feel a sense of accomplishment. Like, I mean, although Andy totally fucked me, I felt like he was in my corner for most of the game. McCrae was for most of well, I mean, for all of my game, and Aaron was for all of my game. So there's like the only I think Derek and Cody may have some sort of is that I'm not really sure. Is their bond, is their alliance pretty solid?
I believe the Derek and Cody alliance is for real, and I think with Zach included in that, they want to go to Final 3, but Derek and Cody both say they will cut Zach when it gets to Final 2. But you and I both know what they say on the feeds. It doesn't mean anything. We need to see their DRs.
And let me tell you something. Derek is way too smart to even bring Cody to the Final 5.
Exactly. Well, all right, go ahead.
No. Final 5 is when you have to do the cut. Really, final, like when Andy cut me, it's because then it's about numbers. It's a numbers game. Andy cut me at the right time. That's when he needed to cut me. If he didn't cut me that week, he would have been cut. Very, very soon after. I don't think that he'll bring Cody to the Final 5. I think that if Derek is smart, he's going to bring weaker players to the Final 5. I think that he'll bring Zach because Zach won't have votes in jury. I think he'll bring Victoria because Victoria is Veronica, by the way. Oh, by the way, for the people who think I really actually don't know her name, I do. I just like to call her Veronica. It's my nickname for her.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, you never know how it's going to pan out.
You never know how it's going to pan out. I think he would be smart to bring, definitely smart to bring Zach. He's definitely bring Victoria. I don't know if you know what happened today, but spoiler alert, everybody. He told Victoria the whole plan, that they weren't putting her up and that they really are putting up Nicole even before the ceremony. He has Victoria, Derek has Victoria in his back pocket, and she will do anything for him.
And he's had her in his back pocket for weeks now. He planted that seed, he's been watering it, he's been nurturing it, and Victoria is Derek's secret weapon. It's just like Gina Marie was Andy's secret weapon. If you have someone like that you could basically promise safety to and bring to the end, it's a number. And now it's getting down. What is it? What are we at? Our final 9?
Yes, 9. But 1 or 2 are coming back. If you go by the math, it has to be 2 are coming back.
They're going to come back, for sure. They're just by what Julie said, but it may not be the end of your game. She wouldn't say that unless...
Oh, no, I know somebody's coming back, but I'm saying specifically 2 people. Like, everybody thinks it's just going to be 1 coming back. If you do the math with the extended season and you also count in another double elimination episode, we would need 2 people returning. So I don't think it's just one person.
2 people return though, and they did the double eviction the same week we did the double eviction.
Right, but this season is 1 week longer than your season. It is? So we need 1 more person.
Damn, they made it a week longer?
Yeah, their finale is the 24th or the 26th.
I thought it was the 18th.
Nope, that press release came out last week. YourRealityRecaps.com/BB16 for all your Big Brother news.
I'm glad I didn't book my flight yet.
Yeah. I guess that means you weren't officially invited.
No official house guests. No house guests are allowed to go to the finale.
They're not?
No. Wrap party, yeah, but to the finale in the audience?
Oh, well, maybe you can help us do backyard interviews, and then you can be there. Okay, let me ask you this, because I know we need to take some of these questions. What do you think? I'm interested to know your thoughts on Christine then, and this whole everybody kind of going after Christine's husband, Tim, because A, they feel Christine's a horrible person, which we've already said she's just playing the game, but also telling him your wife's cheating on you with Cody in the house and making you look stupid. Like, non-stop bombarding him with that. This is just a downfall
of going on Big Brother. When you go on the show, you have to know that it doesn't only affect you, it affects your family. And I commend the people who are in relationships who are able to stay strong and know that their significant other is in the house. And people will try to fuck with you. People say pretty horrible things. But all in all, these people are losers and have no life. And listen, Christine and her husband obviously have a good enough relationship that they trust each other, and he trusts her to be on a television show. She knows he's watching. I'm sure she misses him a lot. I'm sure she just finds a friendship and a companionship in Cody. And I tried to explain this too. I was talking to Zach's mom about Zach, and you know, one of his issues that he'll be facing when he gets out of the house is a lot of people are going to be like, "Are you gay? Are you interested in Frankie?" and blah blah blah. And just from my experience of being in the house is I don't think that Zach is gay. I think you get into the house and you're so close with all of these people that that your sex doesn't matter, the way you look doesn't matter, your soul, you just bond. You do. And I think that I think people should stop harassing house guests' family, because their family aren't the ones who signed up for the show. It's the people, and take it for what it is. Like, it's just wrong, you know? Like, if you want to be entertained, if you can't handle being entertained by these people and you feel like you have to get so involved that you have to harass their family, like, you need to reevaluate your life. Like, you need to really focus on something more positive, because it's not right, and I feel bad for him.
Sure. I mean, as a gay, I will say I do not think Zach is gay. I don't necessarily see the same backlash. Like, I'm proud that I don't see people saying how disgusted they are by it. I feel like the Big Brother community has embraced Zanky as a regular showman.
You're taking what I was saying incorrectly. I don't think that people are looking negatively towards a homosexual relationship. I'm saying people are gonna say, come out with it, come out with it, come out with it, where I don't think he's gay. And the only reason why I think he's not gay is because a typical heterosexual male, if you accuse them from being gay, they're like, whoa, no way, not me, no way. But somebody who is comfortable with their sexuality will go, no, but I wish I was, because I would be all up on that shit. Like, and he's just like embraces it because he's comfortable with who he is. So that's all I was saying about that. Nothing negative.
Oh no, I didn't think you were saying any. I didn't think you were saying anything negative. So then, fine. I'll say it this way: on behalf of all the gays, leave Zach alone. If he is gay, he'll figure that out on his own. But right now, he's straight, and what does it matter to all of you anyway? What does it matter?
They care about all that stuff, huh?
Shouldn't matter is what I'm saying. Is it shouldn't matter? I was going to make a speaking of not people being gay Nick Uhas joke, but I won't do that. So here's a comment from the chat room. Derek and Cody are the hitmen. Derek seems to have a final two with everyone, but not alliance names that he uses all the time as he does with Cody. So she was just letting us know what the name of their final two is, and that, yes.
And I think that at this point, it's all about timing. And at this point in the game, Derek trusts Cody. Cody trusts Derek. They know that they have a bond there, and you need trust. And maybe that is his number one alliance that he's moving forward right now. A lot of times you have to think, week to week, and right now that's probably his strongest alliance. I think that's a problem too. Like, so using the word alliance in that house is strong. Naming something is strong. A lot of the times, especially in the beginning, I know that I would be like, I have your back, so you better have my back. Like, I'm going to vote for you this week. So we're not going to say we're in an alliance, but I'm going to tell you, you can trust me. At this point, we're not like in an alliance, but you can trust me, even though you really couldn't.
Right. Well, you know who doesn't trust us, Amanda?
No.
Jacob Duggar, who says that we both need to go and fuck ourselves. So.
You know what?
Nice
Thankfully to Jacob Duggar, I am able to do that.
Oh,
Whenever
Amanda.
and however. But luckily, I have a boyfriend, so.
Uh,
But thank you for watching.
Thanks for
Get
watching.
the number.
When did you, Amanda, start liking, Big Brother, is from Katie. When did you start liking Big Brother?
I'm gonna answer an answer that people aren't gonna like.
I
Uh,
know.
I started when I got cast. When I started the casting process, I had never watched Big Brother. Guilty. But from the moment I knew that I had a good shot, I watched pretty much every single season since All Stars, which is why I knew the game so well, because all I would do for like 4 months straight is just sit and watch episode after episode after episode. So I'm not one of those people who've been watching it from the beginning. I'm one of those people who've watched it once I got cast on it, and then grew to love the game.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's be honest. I don't necessarily like love the TV show. I really love the game.
Well, you like the feeds then. I mean, the TV show isn't what really goes on. We know that.
I like the experiment.
Well, then let me ask you this, and see if you can answer this quickly. We do have a ton of questions. What are your thoughts on the fact, like, I know a lot of people said the way this season was constructed, meaning the 2 HOHs, the Battle of the Block, the 4 nominees, like, all this stuff, a lot of people said they felt like it was constructed that way because it was supposed to be an all-star season, and it would make it harder for all-stars to play. So I guess the way I'll phrase the question to make it better for you is, how do you think returning or all-star players would have done with the way this season is set up? The 2 HOHs, the 4 nominees, the Battle of the Block. Do you think it would have been harder or easier to play the game this way?
I think that it would have been hard. I think it would have been easier. I think that whenever there's more than 2 nominees, the game is easier. When there's more than 2 nominees, then you have more opportunities to it's a different game with there being you want to be nominated initially so you can give yourself 2 opportunities to take yourself off the block. Typically, you only have 1 opportunity. You have the power of veto. So I don't think that this season was supposed to be an All-Stars. I think that Grodner and crew know exactly what they're doing, and when it's going to be an All-Stars, it will be an All-Stars. And I can tell you, no one who would be an All-Star was contacted for this previous season. So that's just a rumor.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a rumor, but I think it would be interesting. But I also think it wouldn't be as easy as you're thinking it would be, because you're kind of basing it off this season where everybody's okay with everything. If it was all stars,
people who've played it before would know. Like Derek, for instance, you don't want to win HOH because there's a good. And I said it from the very beginning. Unless there's some sort of a safety that you have, like Nicole, for instance, like she won HOH, she had to nominate 2 people. She lost Battle of the Block, right? So like, yeah. And now Christine put her up as a replacement nominee.
Christine put Nicole up, correct?
Right. Christine put Nicole up as the Sorry, spoiler alert. Christine put Nicole up as the replacement nominee, and that fucking sucks because Nicole won HOH, and not only that, she got her hands dirty. So those 2 people who she nominated are going to vote her out because she just nominated her. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like...
Well, there's a lot more reasons behind why they're voting her out. Like, yeah. It's because of the bomb squad and because of a lot of the stuff that they're blaming on her. Nicole, for being a super fan, for me, I think her mistake this week is she kept worrying about being alone with people, because then people are going to say that she said stuff to her. Yet the first chance, like Christine said, don't worry, you're safe, Christine just left her alone. So she let all the people come in and change her mind before the POV. She should have been like parked in that HOH room with Christine to make sure nobody else could change her mind. But whatever.
No, I don't necessarily think that just because you're a super fan means that you would play the game very well. I think that Ian was a super fan, but he's also a very smart person, and he comes across in like a non-threatening way. I think that it has to do with your personality. I think that there's a lot of super fans out there that wouldn't do very well on the show, and it has to do with your personality. Like, it really does. It has to do with you and the people who are around you. And like we were talking about, if Derek was on season 15, would he look like the mastermind that he looks like right now?
Right. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's all situational. Winning Big Brother, I think, is like 75% skill and 25% luck. Like,
there's a lot of luck goes into it. There's some people who defy it. Dr. Will, I mean, Dan made it as far as he did. Janelle made it really far. There's some people who just have the people skills so beyond.
Yeah.
So beyond that they're really maneuver themselves far in the game.
It's a social game as much as it's a physical game. Jordan, the BB man, wants to know, do you think there's any move Nicole could do right now to save herself?
What day is it? Monday?
Monday.
You never know. I think what's really important, what saves you last minute, is when you go with the majority of the house and you let them know that you'll target who the rest of the house wants. I mean, Nicole's biggest counterpart was Hayden, and Hayden's gone. So if she were to present herself and be like, it's just me, like I'm alone, like I have no numbers. When you get rid of me, you're going to be the next one because you have the numbers. Like if you take me on with you, I'll vote the way you want to, and then you won't be the next one. I'll always be a target in the house. So that's another, especially going to like the whoever is aligned with like the HOH. Just know, as long as you keep me in the house, and I always did this. I always said, I'm always going to be the target. As soon as you get rid of me, you're going to be the target. And that's what changed Alyssa's mind. Besides, everyone says it's the diary room. But besides that, and it happened. I said, as soon as I go, Alyssa, you're going to go. Because I'm enemy number one, but you're enemy number two. And that's another thing. They're like, oh, the diary room changes your perspective. Well, the diary room can say whatever the F they want to. It's up to the player to make whatever move they want to make. So if the player is weak-minded enough to decide that's the direction they want to go in, DR is not making them do that. It's their choice.
I agree with you. I agree they do not tell you what to do. I agree with you. I think they ask questions, though, that when you're in that house and you're like have a million conspiracy theories and they constantly keep saying like, so Amanda, do you think Alyssa could backstab you this week? Do you think she could backstab? Like when they keep asking the same question over and over again, I think it puts the thought in your head. But you're right, if you should be strong-minded enough to push it out.
I think the producers that are in the diary room are trying to get the story, and our diary room sessions are the narration for the show. So if they need to know that you're scared that Andy's coming after me, and they'll say, right, are you afraid that Andy's coming after you? Yeah, I am afraid that Andy's coming after me. You know, like they need that narration. I don't necessarily think that they really want to lead. I think that they need a story. And I've even gone to the diary room, and I was saying this to my brother yesterday. Oh, here's some information that I think you guys would like to know. Sorry, I'm like on a ramble. He's like, so like when you're standing there and you're doing like the nomination ceremony, like what if you mess up? I go, people mess up all the time. That's done, like they do many retakes of like the nomination ceremony, the POV, like because you have to like memorize it sometimes and whatever. So that's just an interesting. Oh, and outside he's like, you know, when he's like, oh, Helen, you're in the lead. Or I'm keep using my season, but they do a lot of retakes outside on all the competitions to the point where like you have to sit out there, and after the competition's done, they'll be like, the person who's hosting the competition wears an earpiece. So they have everything feeding into the earpiece. So when they're reading the directions and stuff, I don't know. My brother found that really interesting. That afterwards you do pickup shots and pickup lines because there's airplanes that fly overhead. So you have to do like, oh God, that looks like it hurt. Like that's all pickup afterwards.
I just thought everybody knew that. I didn't know. Like even last night's episode with Donnie, with Derek being like, Frankie's in the lead. Like, it was so
Yeah.
obvious they shot them after.
Yeah, but you're working in production. Some people.
Well, that's true. That's true. Right. So, okay, I'm going to say okay because I want to get through questions. We'll come back to it if I want to disagree with you a little bit more on that later. Question from the chat room. Sharon Ronka says, why do the house guests let Frankie sleep in the HOH room even when he's not HOH? And Sharon, I think this is a loaded question from Sharon, Amanda.
Well, the only time I slept in the HOH room was when McCrae was HOH, or when whoever was HOH just allowed us to stay up there, because I never slept in a different bed than with him. And the reason being, I think that people do that, if not with them, they let them like take their bed, is because when you're up in the HOH room, you're missing out on everything that's going downstairs. Like, I think Gina Marie purposely let that last night that me and McCrae stayed upstairs, she purposely put us up there so that the exterminators can have their conversation downstairs. There's a big separation. You'd be surprised when you're staying in a different room. And it's negative because you don't know what's going on downstairs. So if Frankie's staying upstairs with the HOHs, they can. Usually it's a revolving door unless whoever has HOH is like, you feel like uncomfortable staying in their room. So if they want Frankie to stay there, they'll let him.
All right. Well, keeping on the Frankie track, I'm going to kind of give you two questions so you can answer them kind of together because I have a feeling they'll blend into each other. So the first one is from Paige, and she says, Amanda, do you think Frankie should go home because his sister is Ariana Grande? And Al BB Fanners says, this isn't Big Brother 16, it's the Frankie show. Thoughts? So should he go home because he's Ariana Grande's brother? And do you feel like they're making this season all about Frankie?
No, if anything, I think Zach has a lot more airtime than Frankie does. I think that everybody should. This is, again, just because Frankie is Ariana Grande's brother, it's not necessarily going to help him, hinder him. He came into the house not knowing how it was going to affect him. Is it the Frankie show? No, it's Big Brother. Like, Frankie, there's nothing that Frankie is saying that is getting him more or less airtime. I mean, he did just reveal, but now, like, he just revealed that Ariana was his sister. So that was his game move. He felt like this was the point to reveal that, and it looks as though it's helping his game. Big Brother didn't expose it. He did. So I think that it's going to help him win America's Favorite. I think that I love Frankie. He's one of my favorite people. I just really like his personality. I don't think he's going to win the game, but I do think that he, by revealing that he was Ariana Grande's brother at that point, helped his game. I don't think it's the Frankie show either.
I wouldn't say it helped his game. I feel like listening to everybody's conversation since, I think it has definitely hurt his game, especially with the whole Victoria thing, and like we don't need to get into that because that'll take forever. But I think it has hurt his game. However, what I thought was also interesting, he did an article in People or somewhere that I just read where he always planned to reveal it the week of jury, because he said pre-jury people don't matter, so I'm going to wait till they're out of the house, but once we get to jury, I don't want them to somehow find out if I make it to the final two and use that as the reason not to give it to me, so I'm going to put it out the week of jury. Whether that's true or not.
I think that if I were Frankie, I think that the reason I feel like the whole house was against him, you could tell even by the episode, even by the live feeds, that he was public enemy number one. I think that he was grasping for straws, and that was his biggest card to play. So I think not only that, I think he was hoping that being a pop superstar's sibling was going to get people to like him more, get people to kiss his ass more, and he pulled the card out at the right time. That's his game. people
And
could lie. People could lie and say that they're related to freaking Barack Obama. Like you can say you're related to. For all they know, he's lying. Like it's.
exactly.
I don't know. Like I think that he went on the show. He didn't tell anybody up until this point. He's using it to help his game, and I disagree with you. I think it has helped his game. I think people are afraid to evict him now because of her millions of followers. But that's the problem of the house guest. It's not Frankie's problem. He's
Oh,
playing.
good. Oh, good, Amanda. I love this. We have a bet then. I guarantee you, the first person in power that's not Frankie goes home.
That's
No,
a
no.
strong possibility.
Yeah.
I never. I don't know. You never know. That's a strong possibility.
Victoria hates him right now because she's apparently losing her hair, and she said something to him about it, and apparently Ariana has the same exact issue, and then Frankie took that information and went to the other girls with it, so now the girls hate him, and of course, Derek said he wanted to leave. He was like, I might as well just go to the DR and leave. I'm never going to win against the pop star's sister. Like, nobody's happy about it that I've seen, and maybe I'm wrong, but I've only seen people pissed about it.
I've seen, from what I've heard, not from what I've seen. I've heard people are kissing his ass about it because you could like, Victoria was like, I mean, maybe whoever's watching, who's watching right now, if you can give us 100% what we're talking about. But I heard Victoria and Caleb's talking about, like, Caleb recently was talking about bringing Frankie to the Final Four with Derek and Cody. Or maybe Zach, and I forgot who it was, but and like Victoria was kissing her ass, and you saw Nicole
I think that was
crying
Thursday.
about it. I mean,
I think that was originally like the first day, but chat room let us know. I think it has gone completely the other way since then. But chat room let us know, and I will tell you what they say, Amanda. Question from the chat room, Kentucky 1025. Amanda, who do you want to return as of now? Jocasta, Hayden, and Nicole as of today. So if you had a...
Nicole's not gone yet. Who do I want to return? No one. I hate that. That sucks. I hate the returning house guys. It's like, you're gone. You should stay gone, or you're going to ruin my game.
Yeah, it's so weird how production doesn't get involved. There's that poor little Judd who left your friend Amanda and then came back wanting to split your throat out of the blue without speaking to anybody else. That is
That
weird.
was true. That was, no, you know what that was, too? Judd, but this is the way that I was edited. So when you leave, I know you guys see this, when you leave the house and you go to jury, you see like a clip of basically your eviction and what's happened prior and Judd saw a clip and he told me that I was smiling at his eviction. And there was no way in hell I was smiling at his eviction. That was the toughest eviction for me the entire season. I was tearing up over there. I was sitting there like looking him dead in the eye like it's gonna be okay. Like it was literally like putting down your dog. Like it was really, really sad. So he watched it. It was edited to where I was smirking at his eviction, and the annoying part is that we very strategically planned, like Aaron and I told Helen, if this was the event, if it was a double eviction, Helen needs to go to Aaron and tell Aaron to evict Judd so that they were doing what I wanted, but Judd would see that Helen was the one telling Aaron, and somehow in jury, like that did get like misconstrued, that like I was the one I was the one who planned it, but there's no way he could have known that. So again, you take what production tells you. You can let it influence you, or you can't let it influence you. It just...
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
The chat room wants to know. Oh, and they're saying that it's kind of mixed. Like some people, like Jephthah, is saying, I think Frankie, being Ariana's brother, did help the game. Other people are saying they think it didn't help the game. I'm only going based on what I've seen the people literally talking about the past 2 days, and I feel like it hasn't helped.
The only thing that helps, I mean, the only thing that helps Frankie, if these people were normal, I swear, if they were with any other season, is that Frankie's going to win America's favorite, unless they change it around. Because I'm just going to use Alyssa, for instance. Look, we had somebody on the show who has a big brother famous sister, and she could have been gone week 1, but it was what we decided to do with her, what changed her status in the house, which helped her. It initially hurt her until we realized how it could help us. So,
well, here's kind of, well, I'm not even going to say it's my question anymore now. I'm going to expand upon it. But it's from Biggest Brothers George. Says, do you think Zach or Donnie still has a chance at America's Favorite Player, or do you think CBS will rig that? We already said we don't think they're rigging anything. Here's more specifically my question. I don't think Frankie's going to win. Do you think if we give Donnie this, oh my God, Donnie's on the way out, which we know he has no chance of making it much further, that he's going to get a strong enough of a poor Donnie edit that he might win America's Favorite this year over Frankie?
No shot in hell.
No shot in hell.
Unless they take Frankie, unless it was in Frankie's contract to take him out of the running for America's Favorite, there's no shot in hell. And I'm only saying that because I love Alyssa. Alyssa and I are really good friends now. But if Alyssa wasn't Rachel's sister, I mean, Judd would have won. I believe Judd, or I don't know how Howard was in the top 3. But, like, I don't think Alyssa was just portrayed as, like, America's Favorite. I think that she won because of her following, her sister's following. Now, times that by however 11 million, there's more. Ariana has more, what is it, like 3 times, 4 times more Twitter followers than Big Brother has viewers. There's no shot in hell, even if all of the CBS viewers and Twitter followers are that weren't Ariana fans all were to vote for Donnie, Frankie has his hands down. And I think after this season, they should get rid of America's Favorite.
Well, they might, because they got rid of it on last season of Survivor and didn't tell us they were getting rid of it. They just didn't do it on Survivor last season. The whatever one that they do. Like Spencer from Survivor was totally screwed. He got nothing for being America's Favorite last season of Survivor. So maybe they got rid of it.
I don't think that you should, because basically, sorry, but nowadays you're winning America's Favorite because you're related to somebody who is famous of some sort, and if not, you get America's Favorite because of your edit. Like, if I don't even think, like, right now Nicole's like an underdog on the CBS, and people just like nice people on TV. Like, you don't want America's Favorite to be like a villain. Like, I think that on the feeds people really like Zach, but I think that on TV people find him entertaining, but he's not America's Favorite. Like, Donnie is America's Favorite. He's sweet, happy-go-lucky. So, but that's like, it shouldn't be like America's Favorite. It should be like America's Best Player, but I guess they just win the game. So I think it has started to affect the game, America's Favorite.
I agree with you. What if they made it only live feed subscribers could vote, but then that wouldn't really even be fair either. But it would cut down on the random person, but then there's more regular TV watchers who wouldn't get.
I don't think that. I think that, and I'm pretty sure most of the people who vote are viewers of the TV show. Am I wrong?
Correct.
Okay. So what the TV viewer is voting on is what they see and not necessarily what is actually happening. So, for instance, I could have gotten a really good edit on the show. They could have made me America's sweetheart. They could have only showed me yelling at Aaron and standing up for people instead of showing like my bad parts, and I could have won America's Favorite. So it's like, I think America's Favorite is dumb. I think it's like, you're not playing to be America's Favorite, and you should play to win the game. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion of it.
I liked what Opposite Worlds did, whether it's true or not, or rigged or not, but they had the popularity index which
Yeah.
wasn't that people voted. They claimed they had something scrolling through Twitter, seeing who was talking positively or negatively about a house guest, and they just tallied that up to make a rankings list. I think something like that could be
Well, and they
like
did something. Didn't they do something like that with Big Brother Canada? Like Big Brother Canada put up people who like they didn't like or whatever, and it's again that's like I think that during the game it's a negative influence. And yeah, it's an you. The problem with that is that it's an influence on the game. You influence how you act because of you're knowing America doesn't like you, especially with opposite worlds. Like, oh, America doesn't like me, and it influences the way that you act. And I feel like this is supposed to be a game about people who have no outside communication with the outside world whatsoever, no influence. Which is why I don't really like that they left the house. Like, who knows? We don't actually get to see. There's no live feeds on them for when they left the house. Who knows what's going on? So.
right. No, that's a good point. That's exactly what I didn't like about it. So now I take it back. I didn't like how they changed based on knowing who was liked and not liked from week to week. Here is a comment from Colleen in the chat room who says the three girls can't stand Frankie, Beast Mode Cryboy, wants to take him to the final two though now after their trip to the football game. So apparently the girls want to take Frankie, so I guess it could be helping his game now.
Well, and that's what I was speaking because my dad is like an avid live feeder. Again, if Frankie is sitting there and promising them we're all gonna hang out and we'll go backstage to Ariana's concerts and you'll meet Justin Bieber and blah blah blah, and the girls are changing their opinions, that's not production. That is Frankie using what he has to his advantage, and that's these girls taking it. If he's gonna dangle the bait, and these girls are gonna go for it, that's not production's issue. That's these girls' issue, and those are the girls that are playing the game. Some people will jump for the bait, some people won't, but that's not. I don't believe that that's production interfering. I think that's just the way that Frankie's using what he has.
Yeah, it's the way that the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. Who, Amanda, oh boy, I'll ask it, who are you still friends with from Big Brother 15? And newsflash, the chat room and everyone is loving you this episode.
Are you being sarcastic?
No, I'm being serious, so I'm saying that's,
No, I mean,
there's
no bad answer to that. I'm friends with most of the cast. We have a big group text that goes on between. It's actually easier for me to say who I don't talk to. I don't talk most. I think most of the cast doesn't talk to Jessie. I don't particularly get along with her, and that's okay. To each their own. Who else? I don't talk to a lot. It's difficult with pre-jury people because we didn't really bond like the people who were in jury did. But I'd say the only people in jury the only person who I don't talk to is Jessie, and I think that goes for most of the cast. And pre-jury, I don't talk to David or Nick, or I talk to Jeremy once in a while. I don't really. Well, Caitlin, we're in a group text, so no hard feelings, but they were out pre-jury. We just didn't have the bonding that we did with the rest of the BB.
Okay, so there you go. A question from the chat room. Who do you think is the biggest floater in the house right now?
The biggest well, I think Victoria. I mean, that's my definition of a floater. Everybody has a different definition, but Victoria is a non-entity in that house. If she wasn't there, people wouldn't know. She was just she's being used. She has no gameplay whatsoever. And everybody has their own definition of a floater. I think that Cody's kind of like not making any moves either. And that's what I think a floater is. Somebody who just has really no mind of their own. Like Victoria has legitimately no mind of her own. So.
Question from Tasha in the chat room. Who played a better game, Frankie or Andy?
I mean, obviously Andy. Just because I think Frankie was attempting to play Andy's game a little bit, but Andy was never a target. Andy had is like Derek when it comes to being a target. Like Andy, the only time Andy was put up on the block was by Alyssa, right? And that was pretty much it. And Derek still, after there being 4 nominees each week, Derek has yet to be put up on the block as an initial or a replacement nominee. And people know that. People are like, that's, people are like, okay, Derek hasn't been put up yet. But like, even like, I don't know, Derek lied straight to Nicole's face and convinced Nicole that he's the only, and she thinks that she can trust him. It's like he's so good. But I think Andy played a better game because Frankie has too many targets. He created too many targets on his back.
Derek's amazing at this game, and I'm not just saying that because he loves us. I think he's playing the most genius game. I want him to make it to the end and not be nominated because I want no one to ever talk about Dan Giesling again. I want Derek to be the best player to ever play Big Brother, is what I want. But to that point, do we think that if Hayden comes back or any other juror, it would be bad news for Derek and his amazing game?
I don't. Like, I feel like Hayden has bigger fish to fry, or at least he thinks he has bigger fish to fry. I think that Derek is very calculated, and I think even in his goodbye messages, he's very he's very calculated. Like Derek knows that there is the potential of one of these jurors to come back into the house, and I think that he'll use that to his advantage. I don't think that it's going to be an issue for Derek.
Okay, I hope it's not. BL Brett in the chat room wants to know, Amanda, getting into a showman's good move or bad move?
I think
for
that,
the game.
I think. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to get comfortable. I think it's conditional. It can work to your advantage to a certain point. I think because then eventually, like, if you have power and you're in a showmance, they're going to try to break it up in any season if you're like in a strong showmance. So I think initially it could work for you, but then eventually it will work against you. I don't think it's just one way or the other.
Do you think it was odd that they almost felt like they had to force a showman storyline this season? Like, nobody wanted it to be showmans.
Yeah, I don't find it odd. I think that people want it. I think people like showmances, and that's the element to television. Again, with any TV show that's very popular, that you want to see fights, you want to see love, you want to see hate, and you weren't really getting any love. Like, they're making Zanky a showmance. That's not love. They were making, Nicole and Hayden. That's not. They tried, but that's not love. And there's like certain, and I know from being Macranda that there's a certain person who watches the show that wants to watch you on the live feeds. They want to watch you fall in love. So.
Right. Colleen in the chat room is saying, which this is interesting fact, there's been 36 chances so far, if you factor in the Battle of the Blocks, for you to be ending up on that seat, and Derek hasn't been in any of them. And I guess undefined means their name isn't coming up. Hayden said in his Jeff interview, his 2 targets, if he comes back in the house, is Derek and Cody.
Well, here's the thing about that. You can target whoever you want to target, but if you don't have the numbers to get them out, then it doesn't matter who you target, and then you're just making a bad move. I mean, that's basically it. I can target Derek and Cody, but if I have the rest of the house on my side, or on Derek and Cody's side, one of them's going to use the power of veto, take one of them off the block, put up a replacement nominee, and then that person's going to go home. And I think that Derek has the numbers. I think even if Derek went up on the block, he would still unanimously be safe. At least at this point.
Okay. Do you think, from the chat room, that America should get a vote for the winner? Like, should America get one vote?
No. America's not playing the game. America's not in the house. America is watching, and America is just being there to be entertained. And I think that if America were to vote, I don't think, I think, I mean, I'm not going to say it's going to be unfair because, I mean, that's obvious, and there's a lot of aspects of the game that's unfair, but no, there's a reason why they seclude the jury. It's so they don't get influenced by the show, and the show is obviously very influential. That's why I think ever since Danielle was it season 2 or season 1?
2, Danielle.
When Danielle lost, she really should have won. She played the best game, but the fact that they didn't put the juries in a jury house and they could watch the show, it swayed everybody's vote. And I think America is just swayed to however the producers produced the show. So.
First of all, I'm playing the game, Amanda. I'm on Team America, and I have a hashtag. So that's what I have to say about that. I don't know what you're talking about. They've convinced me that I'm playing. So who would be what? Go ahead. I've been convinced. Okay. Who would be in your dream all-star cast to play if, let's say, you got to go back? Who would be your dream to be there? And that's from Zanky123 in the chat room.
That's a hard question. I don't know if I could even answer that because I would want to be in there with people who aren't very good.
Who's one person you would want to see in there and one person you wouldn't want to see in there?
One person I would want to see in there would probably be Dr. Will, and one person I wouldn't want to see in there would be McCrae.
Okay. Oh, and sorry, Danielle was season 3, everybody. I can't remember last week, but season 3 was Danielle. Chat room is telling us. What do we think about the Team America twist? We already said we don't like it. The last 3 they failed, and it hasn't been making the game any better. I kind of think we've already answered that, but let me ask you this: what do you think about them not using the money? Like, they're allowed to Donnie really thought he was in jeopardy until just a few hours ago. They're allowed to use the money to buy votes. It was in the whatever. I don't know why. I guess maybe he was waiting to the absolute last second. I'm just surprised more Donnie hasn't used it yet, is what I'm saying.
Are you sure? Where did they say?
100%.
Where did you see that? They said it on the feeds?
No, Julie said it when she was explaining the Team America rules. Because Joey, when Joey was going to go, she outed the whole thing to everybody, but everybody thought she was lying, and then nobody ever brought it up again because nobody else was in Team America at that point.
I think Team America, here's the thing. I think because Frankie is in the house, they can't do any sort of America votes for anything that's going to really affect the game. So for my input of it is that hence the reason why when they revealed the 3 Team America players, they revealed Frankie last. It wasn't because Frankie didn't get the most votes. Frankie got the most votes the first week times 1,000,000, but they revealed him last to make the viewers think oh, there's other people that America likes too. The only reason why there's Team America is because Big Brother likes the interaction with the outside world, and they want them to think that they can influence the house. Team America this year is not to really influence how the game is played inside the house because there is a superstar's brother in there, and it wouldn't be fair. It'd be too much of an advantage. That's my thought.
Nope, I agree. And chat room can't believe that you didn't want Aaron back.
Didn't want Aaron back.
To play with you.
We're engaged now. I don't even know. You know, us girls in our 20s, we're getting all husbanded up and
it's
babies.
Okay.
We gotta catch it before. What?
I said, don't worry. Statistically, it will end in divorce. Happy wedding.
All right.
Sorry, I'm gay. I'm ruining marriage for all of you people until it's legal for me. There. Just jealous.
I'm you getting married.
I already got married. It just hasn't been legal. Okay, so what was my next question for you? Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Oh, we said getting into a showman's good or bad. What do we think of the way Cody's playing the game from the chat room? Now, this is kind of going back to what you said earlier. I don't know that bringing Cody to the final two is that big of a deal, because what has he really done but been in an alliance and let Derek make all the moves, and he's just a number? What has he done?
I still think that it's too risky because people do like Cody. I don't think Cody's really made any like enemies. I don't know if people are aware of how good Derek is playing his game, because Cody hasn't been has Cody been nominated?
No, I think it's just. Oh no, I think one time, either one or none.
I don't
It's
remember.
either one or none. Chat room, one or none for Cody, please.
I think that there's I don't know, that's hard. I think Derek would want to bring somebody to the final two that it's more of a shoo-in as opposed to Derek.
Sure.
As opposed to Cody. How is Cody playing his game? Cody's not playing. Cody is listening to the strongest player in the house, which is Derek, and going along with what Derek is saying. That's
yeah. I think that might be better to bring with you to final two, though, versus a Zach who can say, I fought, I had all this stuff, yeah, you guys all didn't like me, but I made moves, I did stuff, and I survived, and blah, blah. Whereas Derek can combat Cody's argument and just be like, you did everything I told you to.
I think Zach
and Cody's never been nominated.
Reliable. It's all about being reliable. I think that Zach isn't that reliable to these people. I don't know if he spent so much time with Frankie and put so much trust and loyalty to Frankie that I don't know how strong his bonds are with the other people in the house. And I like Zach. I don't think Zach is going to win, but I like Zach.
Treehouse of Horror, blah, S in chat room, they're all saying no, Cody's never been nominated, and I agree.
That's what you have to go off of. Like, the people who have not been nominated are the people who hold the power in the house, or the people who minimally been nominated. I mean, for me, I got put up by America twice, but no one ever nominated me in the house until they knew they had the numbers. Like, I was not. So basically, and not to mention, when I was put up by America, I never had one vote against me, not one. So I essentially wasn't really even nominated until the week I was gone, and it showed because I had the power in the house. Andy only got nominated once. McCrae only got nominated I think twice. Like, it's like you could see the people who have, and Andy never got nominated until Alyssa. So you could really see the people who have the power in the house by the nominations.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Amanda, I know we've gone way over an hour. Do you want to start wrapping it up? Is there anything else you want to talk about? We're getting like a lot of the same questions and a lot of people agreeing with you, but I mean, I can ask you more if you want.
I mean, if there's any more good questions that you want to throw at me.
Well, here's a good question that I want to throw at you. It's from Austin. Austin, who says, what did you take away from your Big Brother experience, Amanda?
I guess there's a couple of things. Number one, I've learned that I'm a very intuitive person.
Uh-huh.
That's a positive. I know my strengths of manipulation, I guess you would say. And what I learned mostly, and how I need to keep my mouth shut a lot of the times. I always feel, and this is just the way that I was raised, I always feel like I need to defend and I need to speak my mind, and I mean, you could see it now. Like, Evil Dick has been attacking Andy on Twitter, and everyone just sits there and like looks at it, and it's just like, I told him basically to like chill out, like there's no point. And in the game, you don't want to be that person, and even sometimes in life, it's better to. Sometimes it is and sometimes it's not, but I've worked on it to try to keep my mouth shut when it doesn't concern me. Yeah, I guess.
Well, I'll say this, and then know that I'll probably be killed for it. My whole thing about Evil Dick, which is I don't understand why. Like, I get that he keeps it real and that he says what's on his mind, and that's all great, but then I don't get why he does stuff which is purposely to hurt people. So, like,
Well,
the Kalia shaving picture, or saying, like, Andy's gonna get his ass beat, or calling Reagan a faggot, or, like, that's not about game. That's just
and
you
people
trying to...
glorify him for that. And it's like, that's the whole thing too. Like, I stood up for Andy, like, I think it was like a week ago, and I never once called Evil Dick a bad name. I never ever said anything negative to him. I just said, all right, it's enough. Like, why don't you just leave him alone? And now Evil Dick has gone on a rampage. He's like, let's get Jesse on the show to talk shit about Amanda. And it's such a desperate cry of relevancy, I think. It's you're a guy you got in his 50s, really trying to, I mean, if you have to pull Jesse on your show to talk shit about me to get people to watch your show, it's you know, it's a little sad. But I think that he'll never be asked back to be on the show. It's already done. Like, I really don't believe that he will. They don't like him. When I had to, like, talked about him before in production, they like legitimately hate him. But
Chat room seems to be agreeing with you, or doesn't seem to, is agreeing with you. And I'll say this: what's ironic there, Dick, is that Andy is the one who would have went on the show and probably talked the most shit about Amanda for you.
That no, but I think that it's one thing to talk negative. Like, listen, Christine has not said anything. I don't believe anything really bad about Evil Dick on the show. Maybe she did. I don't know. But I believe I've been the number one, like, for a lot of the house guests on the show, I've been talked about negatively a lot. And Dick just, like, is just mean. He's mean. He eggs on, like, the whole Christine, like, talking about the way that Christine looks and whatever else. And it's just, like, it's just mean. Like, you've played the show. You know how difficult it is. Like, you see, it eggs on all of this negativity, whereas you should have some sort of a mutual respect for the people. Not only that, just, like, have respect for yourself. You're a 50-something-year-old man. Leave these kids alone. Like, it's not right. And the fans are like, yeah, get them. It's like...
Yeah.
If you were to sit down and see a grown-ass man attacking, like, a kid in their, like, young 20s, like, you think that's okay when they're not, it's not being, I just don't think it's right. But listen.
I agree with that. That's exactly my point. I'm fine with him, like, keeping it real, saying people are playing a horrible game. All that stuff is fine. But when you're, like, making it personal just to be like, I'm allowed to say it, so I am, like, what, like, whatever. You can put positivity out or negativity. Why put out negative?
Here's my thing. If people are so like, Amanda, you're a bully and that's why we don't like you, but Evil Dick's a villain. Like, okay, that doesn't make any sense. And he, like Dick told me, he's like, you better text me, you better tell Andy to stay away from me at the charity event or I'm going to grab him by his hair and throw him in the pool. What has Andy really done to Evil Dick that Dick is going to, like, say, like, I'm going to throw him in the pool or I'm going to punch him in the face? And people think that that's cool. It's not cool. And it's not something to be glorified either. I don't know. He has a lot of people who follow him. He was very entertaining. Evil Dick was very, very entertaining. I'll give him that. But to feed off of being mean to other people just and trying to hurt their feelings and, like, spreading rumors, and it's just like, get a life, dude. I don't know. I'm just he wanted me to do a show. He texted me about it that whole week, and I just, like, kind of put it off because I didn't feel like he supported me, and I also didn't like the way that he was talking about my friends, and it's frustrating to me to see seeing my friends get attacked on social media, and everyone just sits there and just looks and doesn't say anything. To me, I don't give a fuck. It's Twitter. If I'm going to stand up for my friends. If anybody says anything bad about you or about any of my friends, then I'm gonna say something after a while. Like, what's your problem?
Yeah. I mean, 100%. That's exactly what I said to Reagan last season when I feel like Dick went after him last season. I had a conversation with him. Like, I found it odd that nobody in Big Brother kind of gave any support to Reagan, but everybody was okay with Dick's side of it, which
Well,
was
because
odd.
everybody's afraid. Everybody that's why. No one stands up to him because everyone's afraid. But to be honest with you, like I don't care. As long as I go to sleep at night and know that like I'm a protector and that's how I am. I'm a lioness, and if you're gonna fuck with my friends, you're fucking with me. And Dick can spread whatever rumors, call me whatever names, post whatever pictures, make whatever phone calls he wants to, but it's not going to change my day-to-day life, and I'll feel better about, calling him out.
Yeah.
I never, again, like if you look at it too, like I never, in that whole conversation, I never ever said anything negative about Evil Dick. I never said anything to him. I never called him any names. But he went on a rampage, and for to me, just because I said, why don't you leave Andy alone? It's becoming a little obsessive right now. And it's just not right. It's just wrong. If we all want to talk about not bullying and stuff, then don't support people who actually do.
Well, like we know, you get way more haters are way more vocal than fans. So if you can collect everybody's haters, you have a much bigger army cannon that you can shoot at people when you want of haters.
Yeah.
Is something to think about. But let's end, Amanda, on a happy note. What are you most excited, or what are you looking forward to the most as not even the second half, we're not officially in even the second half yet, of this season plays out? Like, what are you hoping happens? What are you looking forward to?
I mean, there's nothing like in particular. I'm just really excited. Like the double eviction was like super nerve-wracking for me because I felt it. Like I felt like I was there. I know what it's like to be there. I'm really interested, not really excited, but I'm interested in seeing the character evolution of, when people lose someone that they grow to love, like Nicole, how your character changes, or when your alliances change. Like I'm interested in seeing the true people who are in that house, as opposed to the people who they've been presenting to us over the past month and a half, 2 months. I like seeing. I like to see when the real person comes out.
I agree. And lastly, did you see any of the previews for Gina Marie's Piranha Sharks movie yet?
I have. Yeah, I have. I believe I have.
You've seen previews.
I've seen previews, and I'm very excited. She's going to love that you just plugged that for her.
She does love it. I hear she gets eaten by piranha sharks, but I'm not supposed to say that. And we were all saying she should just yell at them and be like, "Get out, cockroaches!" And go.
Love you. Good girl. But yeah, on a positive note, I'm starting my own company, and I'm working. That's why I've been doing like a really limited amount of interviews. I've gotten a lot of inquiries, but it's hard for me to commit, which is why I decided to do this impromptu interview, and with you, obviously, because you're the best and I love you. And
you want to win the award for most guests this year, man. You're already winning. Now you're like winning +1. Go ahead.
No, I think that you're great. I think that I honestly, every house guest that was on this season and who is still on the season, I think that they're great. I'm really excited to meet all of them. And just signing off, my one note is that please know that it's difficult for the house guests that are in the house. It's not easy to look somebody in the face, and well, sometimes it is easy to lie, but it's all part of the game. And their end note is that they're looking to win a lot of money, and put yourself in their shoes, and what would you do in that situation?
Well, yes, and I think that's all obvious, like everybody should know that. Amanda, tell us, can you give us more information about your business, or you can't yet, and people should just keep following you on Twitter when you can put out more info?
I can't yet 100%. It's real estate oriented. I can't really talk a lot about it, but I'm really excited about it. There's more things coming very soon, so.
So I got you. So Amanda has huge news about her new job that you're all going to want to know, but you're only going to get it if you follow her on Twitter. What's your Twitter name, Amanda?
At Amanda Zuckerman. And it's not my new job, it's my new company.
New company. That's what I meant. New company. And of course, the link to follow Amanda will be below this video on the edited version or pop up when she's talking. So.
Oh, and thank you everybody who voted for me for my listing selfie. I'm going to have pretty awesome new pictures with the new camera that I won. It should be coming tomorrow. And new selfies for you.
New selfies from Amanda. And it's summertime, so maybe we can get a one-piece shot.
Ah, I'll work on it.
Okay, bye everybody. Bye.